A couple of months into 2016, but so far we have had some really awesome music come out, and Killswitch Engage's new album Incarnate is no exception. Now, this album is their second album with their old lead singer, Jesse, because they had Howard for a very long time, but Howard just wasn't feeling it anymore and he left the band. So their first album back was Jesse, was the last album, Disarm the Descent, which was really good. I liked it a lot. It was kind of like Killswitch's triumphant return, I guess you could say, because they had Jesse, they left, left the band, and now he was back. And the last album, it was good, but honestly, it wasn't as good as this album. This album is really cool. The last album kind of felt like, it was good, but it kind of felt like certain elements were kind of thrown together, I guess you could say. I guess because they were still trying to get back in the groove of working with Jesse. They were trying to rekindle that relationship. Adam did do Times of Grace album with Jesse, which is really freaking awesome. Still listen to it to this day. That, it was kind of their triumphant return. But this album, it has that Disarm the Descent feel to it. It has the Howard KSC era feel to it. And it also has the Jesse era feel to it. So it's kind of a mix and mash of everything that they've done, all wrapped up in one nice little album. Now, on the deluxe edition, that's the one that I listened to, you have 15 tracks on it, and there is not a bad track on this album. Adam did it again. The production on it is extremely amazing. One of the cooler things I find on the album is, for the drum tones, you can actually hear the sticks on the tom heads, which I know it's a little weird, but I find it's pretty cool, because on most albums, you can't really hear it. It kind of has like a upper range to it. Just listen to it, you'll see what I'm talking about. I found that was a really cool thing to it. Vocals are amazing, bass shines through, drums are good, guitars are always good. I mean, everyone did a phenomenal job on the album. Now, Jesse did a really good job with the lyrics, because the whole theme of this album, it kind of fits KSC as a whole. It's a lot of angry positivity is the best way I can describe it. It's kind of what turned me on to metalcore in the first place. Kind of in that hate breed type of feel, to where like you're screaming out and professing not to give up, And I mean, a lot of the songs kind of reflect that. Strength by design, triumph through tragedy, loyalty. A lot of the song titles reflect that kind of feeling. And Triumph Through Tragedy, it's toward the end of the album. That one is just awesome. It starts off with a nice good growl, and you can kind of tell that the collaboration that Adam did with Corpse Grinder is paying off, because he has some deep growling vocals on there which sound really awesome. The end of the album is actually the hardest part of the album. You got a lot of growls, you have a lot of triplets, you got a lot of pumping action going on. End of the album it finishes off with a nice good strong rah, I guess is the best way you could describe it. The entire album as a whole, I find it's very progressive, because you have it's a nice good mix of violence and beauty is the best way I can describe it, because the choruses are very big, they're very melodic. It's your typical Killswitch chorus, but I find I don't know, it's more progressive to me. It's more open, it's more beautiful, as I guess you could say, and it's a lot more laid back than what I can remember. But what's really cool is, like, the intros and your verses are very aggressive. They're, that you have your typical KSC chorus is the best way I can describe it. So they're really cool, but then you'll have the chorus, and then sometimes you go into a breakdown, and it's very melodical. That's the word I'm looking for. It's very melodical, it's very big, and it's a pleasure to listen to, because it's balanced so well that you don't really get tired of moving from section to section. It's extremely well done. Overall, this album is straight up awesome. It's going to be in my playlist for a while. It shows a lot of development from the band. It just feels like a really mature album. It feels like they took their time, they ironed it out. I know Jesse said on his Instagram, he kind of shared a lot of stuff about the album. He said that he took his time with the lyrics. He had wrote some stuff and he completely got rid of it, and he went back and he rewrote some stuff, and you can really tell, because it's all really fleshed out. It drives a connection with the listener, which is what you really want to do with your music. You want to make a good connection with the listener, so that way you can portray what you're trying to say, and it works really well. It's going to be in my top 10 this year. It has to be. That's how great it is. It's great from top to bottom. I really don't even have any bad things to say about it. It's awesome. It's good. I know I say awesome a lot, so I keep saying it. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. 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 So, what did you think about the album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you wish it would be something different? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down on below. As for me, I am going to be out. Peace.